So this is the first time I'm saying this, but welcome to the Fourth Down in a Dream podcast. I am your host slash co-host. I'm going to go by Red on here, and my co-host with the pretty hair, Mr. G, a.k.a. the commish. How we doing, brother?
What up, Red? Oh, man. 2 days removed here. Probably going on 3 days here. Once you guys see this, removed from the draft, man.
Yep.
Went off without a hitch. Hey,
We
yeah,
had some
man.
things. We had some things, and that's why we're here, right? We're going to recap our, like we said in the last podcast, our 12-man standard scoring, long-time running Volusia Flagler Fantasy Football League, with a lot of old friends and good
Old
times.
colleagues. Yep.
Yeah. So I say we just get right into it, dude.
Hell yeah, man. I believe this is the 17th edition of the league this year. So again, and we've got a lot of vets in this bad boy, man. So
Yeah.
kind of give us a rundown, dude. Let's start at the top and let's let it rip, man. And we've got grades for everybody tonight too.
We do. So to start it off, Mr. Shane Falco and Co. Is he going to keep that name, you think?
There's no way in hell, man. He's gonna change it. No way. It's like you and I've talked before, man. The Jolly Roger. It's probably been like a couple seasons since we've seen it. It's due to come back.
I kind of like the JJ Booty Train.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Just putting it out there. So what do you got, G?
All right, man. I'm sitting here taking a gander at this roster, and I've got one big beef with Shane Falco and company.
Okay.
How in God's name are you going to run into a fantasy football weekend and you're going to have a quarterback, a running back, and a wide receiver all playing for the same damn team? We have Kirk Cousins, Alexander Mattison, and Justin Jefferson all projected to be in the starting lineup. So for that and that alone, I'm going with a B.
A B?
Yeah.
So as we conversed through our draft, I'm just going to say I really like the Alexander Mattison pick. I'm high on him, dude. I like that guy. But I agree. A B is a strong grade for somebody who never prepares and always seems to do very well. So good luck to my good buddy, Mr. Shane Falco, Jolly Roger. Also, maybe JJ Booty Train.
I hear a name change campaign getting ready to leave the station.
I mean, I like it. So next up, we got Mr. Snitches Get Stitches. Number 2 pick in the draft.
All right, number 2 pick in the draft, the South Beach billionaire. I feel like he got off to a really good start, man. Taking Jamar Chase with the second pick. As far as like his running backs go, to me, this is gonna be the X factor with his team, right? So he goes up to the Northwest, Kenneth Walker III, and he's out on the West Coast with Cam Akers. All right. I've seen a complete mixed bag on the Akers talk this year, and I'm just gonna be completely honest, man. I believe in the talent, right? There is talent with Cam Akers. If he can stay healthy, if his mind's right, I mean, Sean McVay has proven in the past that like if he gets a bell cow, he's gonna feed that guy. And looking around at the rest of the Rams offense, there's not too many pieces outside of Cooper Kupp, man. Yep. But I like Snitch's draft top to bottom. Pat Mahomes is going to be the anchor, man. I'm going with a solid A for this draft for Snitches.
Okay. So because of running back depth, I'm going to give him a B.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him a B here. But, you know, we talk about this year in and year out. Do you draft a quarterback early? Do you wait? when you have somebody like Patrick Mahomes on your team that is pretty much a lock for 25 to 35 points a week, you're going to give every team a run for their money. His receivers are good too. Everybody's expecting big things out of Calvin Ridley this year, but his running back depth scares me, so I'm going to give him a B.
All right.
So, moving on. Mr. AT Aliens, AT, we're not going to keep doing this every podcast, okay? We're not going to keep doing this every podcast.
The defending champ.
The defending champ. I think we got a little bit to talk about here.
Yeah, we do. So, do we want to talk? I mean, all right. For starters, we'll talk about what is actually on this roster right now. Okay.
Yeah.
And Derrick Henry, as we discussed last week, he had this wide range of outcomes. And man, I'm not gonna give away the backstory just yet, but let's just say he ended up going at number 3 overall to the AT Aliens. Okay. And he followed up with Amon-Ra St. Brown in the second round, right? So in a standard league, you're looking at a great 1-2 punch to get this party started.
Yep.
I mean, and I'm sure as you'll talk about this here soon, Jonathan Taylor, it was the big X factor on Monday night. And as we already know now, it does sound like the news is not going to be in Douglas's favor for the next couple weeks. So, unfortunately, that's going to hurt. Okay. I'm not going to ramble too more about this roster because here's why. As far as the grade goes, it's getting an incomplete because who in God's name auto drafts half of their draft and then shows up on the back half? Our defending champion. So while his roster may be serviceable to some degree, for the sake of this exercise, he's getting an incomplete. But you're still my boy, AT Aliens.
So I'm hopeful that the defending champion is able to join us next week. And I'm going to save some of that firepower for then. Like we spoke in our group chat on Monday night, Jonathan Taylor looks like he's going to be sitting the first 4 games of the season, like you said. That's tough with your third pick. And then if you scroll down to the 7th pick, you have another auto pick, Mr. Jerry Jeudy, who could potentially be out anywhere between 4 and 8 games this season. Man, it's not the way to start defending your title. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to give him an incomplete because it is complete. This is a C for me.
All right.
As in, C, you should have made time to draft your own players. Yeah. But hey, he's a busy man, dude. He does more than any of us, and to that I tip my hat.
Absolutely.
You know? So moving on, we have the brother-in-law, your
Sponsored
brother-in-law, not mine.
Sponsored by Bland's, yes. And let me tell you, man, the side dialogue that was going off on my cell phone during the draft was quite comical for the majority of the night. And unfortunately, none of those snaps are going to make it onto this podcast. But that's neither here nor there. Talking to the head man of Sponsored by Blends, he seems to not be too thrilled with his lineup, and that kind of confuses me. I see this as a pretty strong lineup. I like seeing him get Trevor Lawrence in the 8th round, which was a whole hell of a lot later than just about everybody else in this league as far as QBs go.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the Chris Olave pick in the 3rd round for standard scoring. I think that dude is going to be a complete monster this year. You know, and as history has shown itself, Derek Carr usually likes to lock in on one receiver and one receiver only and pepper him with the football. So that's why Chris Olave has pretty much been on everybody's breakout board for this upcoming season. As far as overall grade goes, I I mean, I'm sure he'll probably, scream at this, but I'm still I'm gonna go with a B plus on this one. I like the roster top to bottom.
For the most part, I agree. Again, I look at this team, and you're starting with Christian McCaffrey. Miles Sanders to me is kind of a question mark, and I have more on that with another team's draft. Khalil Herbert, again, it's tough in a 12-man league in general to have a lot of strength at running back when you're trying to draft other players. But shout out to Mr. Blanton's for his 12th round pick.
Can
For
we get a
for
pronunciation on that, please?
for Mr. Chigozium Okonkwo.
Jig, baby.
Chig. Yep. Yep.
For the sake of
I
this
like
podcast, we'll go with Jig.
yeah, I like his draft, dude. I like his draft. I'm gonna give him a B, dude. Between
Okay.
a B and a B plus. Yeah. It's a good draft. And we need to maybe talk about the sidebar conversations in the pre-production meeting
Okay.
because I feel a little left out.
Oh, sorry. We'll get a group chat going with you. We'll get a group chat going with you.
Feelings are hurt, dude. If I had them, they'd be very, very hurt right now.
All right, man. I just scroll down to my next picker, and this is the guy I got beef with right now because this guy completely hijacked my draft on Monday night.
Did he?
Smoking Joe Burrow, baby. I got beef with you, brother.
Do
Man,
tell.
all right. So here we go, right? So I got the 11th pick. I'm doing my draft prep. I'm sitting here looking at ADP, kind of monitoring all this running back news. I got Josh Jacobs on my short list, my super, super, super short list. And prior to this draft on Monday night, current ADP goes, I think, middle of the second round. 2.07 is what I had on my list, according to my records, right? Then the word breaks, I believe it was Sunday, and we had already started to hear the whispers in the bushes before this about him potentially returning to the Raiders. Then we hear the news break. He's got the 1 year deal. He's going to report, da 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 da. And I'm like, all right, he's going to start creeping up draft boards. But I'm still thinking at the back half of one, he's going to be there. 5th overall. See ya.
Deuces.
There he goes. The guy I talked about last week, pain in my ass, who's always got something to screw everything up in his draft, man. Here comes old Smoking Joe in here, and I'm gonna grab Josh Jacobs. So I was like, all right, tip the hat to you. And then he turns around in the second round, and I don't know, man. I thought it was a reach. Travis Etienne, I didn't like it. He starts off with a bang, calls a shot, plants his flag, goes and gets Mr. Jacobs, and then he turns around and does that crap in the second round. So for just the Josh Jacobs debacle and that alone, I'm giving him a C minus.
Nice. So I don't think his draft was all that bad. That 9th round pick is a conversation piece. But we're gonna have that.
Same change.
We're gonna have that when he joins us sometime through the season. At least he stuck to his guns and drafted Travis Etienne after telling the whole league that he was interested in him the day of the draft when he was messing around with his draft strategy. So for that alone, for letting us know who he was interested in, that's an F, dog. That's a solid F. That's a L. That's a big L. I'm glad you got your guy. But, man, you can't be giving away secrets the day of the draft. There's a lot of snakes in this motherfucker.
Hey, that afternoon, I started getting these alerts, and I'm sure you did too.
Oh, I did. As soon as you texted me, what did I say to you?
Hey, I looked at it, and I was like, huh, interesting. And the next thing you know, I had 2 different people send me screenshots going, did you just get these? And I was like, man, Clark, our boy Smoking Joe out here just giving away state secrets before we get going on Monday.
Smoking something.
So shout out to Smoking Joe on that one, baby. We
GG,
love you.
baby. Nah, for real. I'll give him a C, man. I'll give him a C. Not for your argument as much, just for drafting 2 in the 9th round.
Hey, listen, if you got to give him credit, though, man, Geno Smith, 12th round, that's
That
major value right there.
that is
Major. Yeah.
if Geno's not a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
And we will see.
Yeah.
But he's got weapons, dude. He's got him
Yep.
some weapons. So,
Yeah.
and it was good to see. So,
Okay.
but GG's to old Smoking Joe.
There you go.
Thanks for the
All
intel,
right.
baby.
There you go. All right. Who we got next here? Master Bader
Master Bader.
coming in at the 6th spot, man. He said he's going with the rookie. With his first overall pick at the 106, man, Mr. Bijan Robinson.
He took my guy.
Dude is going to be a ball. So that was your man at the top of your list right there?
That was
Bijan.
my guy. That was my guy. That's why I acted like he wasn't my guy in the last podcast. That was my guy. That was the one that so now this is me. I had the same problem with Lee that you have with Clark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, man. Love the first round pick. Came back in the second with a solid RW1 or WR1, excuse me, with Mr. CD Lamb out of Dallas. I love the pick, man. 7th round, he goes back to Gabe Davis. I know Gabe Davis was a lot of hotness last year, pre-draft. Still hearing good things out of Buffalo. It's another high-powered offense. He's got another piece of that. Cruising down a little bit further. Man, I mean, you want to talk about like sneaky sleepers at tight end. Gerald Everett in the last round. I mean, he's part of the Chargers offense, man, and Justin Herbert's not afraid to throw the tight end.
Nope.
So I love it, top to bottom. I mean, he even got your boy Zeke, man. Zeke.
He did 10th round. I like the Jared Goff pick. I like the Jared Goff pick at 13 too, man.
There you go.
A lot of value there.
Well, I tell you what, man. I got Master Bader listed as the best draft, man. I got him at A+. A+ to Master Bader for the 2023 draft. Now let's see what he does during the regular season.
Yeah, he gets an A for me. He gets an A for me, even though he took my guy. He took my guy. I like his first 3 picks a lot. I'm not as high on Gabe Davis, I think, as a lot of people are, man. He's got that Valdez Scantling thing going on where he's like all or nothing. He's catching that 40-yard bomb or he isn't doing shit. That scares me. But the rest of his draft, man, is solid. And Gerald Everett, like you said, was a really good pick in the 16th round. However, I don't think that was the best 16th pick. But we'll talk about that more.
There you go. All right. Iron Smoke got things going at 107, taking his straight homer pick here. Takes the cheetah off the board at the 107, man. Great pick. Loved it. Got his draft started off strong. Overall, right? This is where my beef is. Outside of Kyle Pitts in the 5th round, I would say 1 through 7, I was going to give it an A. It looked awesome. Now, what happened between the 7th and the 8th round, I don't know if it got too late, was time to check out, head to bed. I don't know if my man stepped out, smoked his stogie on the back porch, or what was happening. But that rest of the draft, I mean, it just it watched it's like a golf ball rolling off the edge of a damn desktop, man. I mean, just gone, see you, man. I wasn't having it. So first half of the draft, yes. Second half of the draft, nah, no way.
I mean, the eighth round pick wasn't bad, but that 9th pick,
bro, for real.
Yeah. I mean,
DeAndre Swift, man, he's on my do not draft list.
Yeah, because he did not do shit for you last year.
I know I'm not alone on that.
All right, what'd you give him?
I got a C. Average, man.
Okay.
I know I'm
So
kind of hard. Yeah.
so I'm gonna give him a B
There you go.
minus, but I'm giving him a B minus because he undoubtedly had the best 16th round pick. Chuba Hubbard, or whatever Hubbard, he played decent ball last year when Christian McCaffrey hit the road. And Miles Sanders is an injury risk. That team is going to rely on that backfield to do something to get all the smoke off of Bryce Young. That could be a sneaky pick if Miles Sanders goes down, which he kind of always does. 16th round, flyer. You got a guy that's going to touch the ball every game. We just don't know how much unless somebody gets hurt. But I like that pick.
All
But
right.
yeah. That Russell Wilson pick, that wasn't it, Chief.
All right. Next up, we have Boot and Rally at 8. Boot and Rally last year finally relinquished the title, man, after ripping off 3 straight. I mean, he was a decorated champion in the league. So I gotta say, I don't usually question his fantasy football acumen too much. He started out right out of the blocks with a pretty strong draft, man. Devontae Adams. I mean, people kind of had this feeling when he got traded to Vegas and he had Derek Carr and he totally balled out, man. So let's see if Jimmy GQ can keep feeding him the rock. I'm not going to harp on really too much anything else on his roster except for one thing, man. And that's going to be his 9th round pick. Okay. And this is after your boy here took the RB from Arizona a few rounds earlier, and I got all kinds of flack about it. Well, this is how I look at things, right? You or me could fly out to Arizona. We could take a snap, and I'd be more than happy to just hand the ball off to the running back. Now, I'm not saying he's going to do much, but the guy he drafted is going to require somebody to take that snap, drop back, read the field, and throw a football to him, which there probably ain't going to be too much of that happening in Arizona this year. And if they do, it's going to be because they're down by like 40 or 50 points and they're trying to play catch up. And at that point, if I was Marquise Brown, I'd be like, man, get my agent on the horn. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, get me out of this game, man. So, anywho, that's my only beef with Mr. Boot and Rally. I'm going to give him a, let's see what I got him written down here for. I got him for a B+ overall.
Okay.
But his Marquise Brown pick, Hollywood Brown, nah. I ain't playing that.
Well, I mean, the word on the street is, dude, I saw a few things. Hollywood Brown's got some separation anxiety. As in, he can't separate from shit. And that's a problem if you can't separate and you don't have anybody to throw the ball to you, you know.
Okay.
I like that Sky Moore pick at 10, though. I mean, Kansas City's going to throw the ball around a lot. There's been a lot of good things said about him. I think Eric had a good draft overall. I'll give him a B. I'm giving most of everyone a B. But he got blocked a lot. That back half of the draft was tough. Somebody was always taking somebody that you were ready to pick. It felt like, you know.
Oh man, sounds like somebody's patting their own back right now.
No, because it wasn't just
is
me.
my internet feed going out?
Dude, between Lee and you was Eric and I. And Miss Kamish. And your father-in-law. It felt to me in the conversations that we had, every time somebody picked someone, Eric said, damn, that was my pick. But he made the best of it.
More and more difficult.
He made the best of it. So
difficult.
I give him credit to that. He'll be back in conversation of horrible trade offers and winning the league again like he usually does. So He's the Mr. Miyagi of fantasy football, dude.
There you go. There you go. All right. So next up on the draft order, we've got Friday morning oil change, and I assume I'm just taking this one, right?
Yeah.
Or are you gonna have a rebuttal?
No, no, I'm going to be. I'm just gonna sit here and listen, dude.
All right, man. So just gonna be completely honest here. Took a look at this thing. Love the draft. I, first 3 rounds got off to a torrid pace, man. Chubb, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts. You and I talked off air. I feel like the big question for everyone across the fantasy landscape this year should have been, when am I pulling the trigger on a QB? Everyone for years and years was always like, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. Well, you know what? When you started looking at the numbers and you saw how much of a gap started to form from that upper echelon of QB to what was, middle of the pack and lower, feel like those quarterbacks have rightfully so started to move their way to the front of the boards. So love the Jalen Hurts pick in the 3rd round. Dameon Pierce, had him last year, absolutely great. He's going to be the bell cow in Houston. He kind of flamed out late last year, but I'm just going to, chalk that up as a rookie season and a guy just getting used to being a pro.
Absolutely.
Dude, your whole team's going to just come down to like what's going to happen with Breece Hall, man. Like if Breece Hall can get back to, that pre-injury form last year, I mean, he's going to be a steal in the 5th round. I can keep going on and on and on about what I like. I'll keep it short and sweet on what I don't like. You had 2 picks. They both played for the Patriots. They were awful. That's it, man.
Fair.
Juju Smith-Schuster went in the 9th round. Wasn't a fan of it. Mike Gesicki, okay, flyer at tight end, super late in the draft in the 15th round. And then what's your boy doing up in the Northeast right now? Didn't he like cut all his quarterbacks
Uh,
outside of Mac Jones, man? And
well,
now they're like on the taxi squad.
Bailey
Surely he's got
Zappi.
somebody
Bailey
lined up.
Zappi is back already. He's on the.
Okay.
He's on the practice squad, but he'll have to be on the 53-man roster. You can't not have at least 2 quarterbacks. But I have. I'm sorry, YouTube, but I have no fucking clue. Like it
All right,
might be
man.
time for him to hit the golf course.
I got you. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up, man, and say top to bottom on your roster, I gave you an A- for your draft on Monday.
Cool.
Good job, dog.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man.
All right, so
I like that Juju
we'll
pick in the
move.
9th round.
All right, moving on to 10th, man. We had Mrs. Commiss, the wide receiver. Excuse me. She was the first one to pull the trigger and go tight end in the 1st round. She took Zeus, Travis Kelce, going to be the cornerstone of her offense. I mean, you want to talk about a positional advantage, look no further than Travis Kelce. She made the decision to go QB in the 4th round, picked up Justin Fields, really like that. Her big question mark is going to be those running backs, man. She's got Camario on the suspension, and Dalvin Cook is going to be in that 1A, 1B situation, in my opinion, up in New York, man. So to me, that is going to be what could make or break her season, is going to be that running back position. Overall, though, tip of the cap to Mrs. Kamish. And this is not just a business decision. I think she did a really good job in the draft. So I'm going to go A- to the wide receiver.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to agree. Really good draft. First 4 picks were super solid. Probably would have liked to see a running back in there before the 5th round. I mean, Alvin Kamara, after his 3-game siesta, he might do well. He did well when there was a decent quarterback there before. Sidebar conversation, but Jimmy Graham plays for the Saints?
Yeah, he still does. He's back.
Yay. What?
No, he's there, man.
I saw it on Twitter. I'm like, what year is this?
Hell yeah.
But
We're
anyways,
turning it back quick.
Mrs. Commission and myself are both going to hope that our New York Jet running back is the number 1 option. Either way, they're decent picks in the middle of the round, but I like her draft too, man. I like her first 4 picks a lot. Um, I'll give her an A minus.
All right. All right. You're up, man. Baby Billy's Bible Bunkles.
Baby Billy's Bible bonkers. Saquon 11th pick in the draft. I like that. I mean, you got to take a running back there after your heart got broken by Mr. Smoking Joe.
Asshole.
Yeah. Cooper Cup is a value pick, 2nd round. Mark Andrews again. I mean, you got one of the top 3 tight ends, and you know that position is tough to draft if you don't get one of the top 3. I really like your 4th round pick, man. I think Lamar is going to come back and be a lot more comfortable in that offense this season with the new OC. He's got weapons upon weapons upon weapons. And speaking of weapons, your 11th round pick was probably one of my favorites as well in Jacksonville. Zay Jones looks like he's going to be pretty good, man. Overall, I'll give you a Z.
Sounds good.
No, I'll give you a B plus. But I don't think your tight end in the 16th round is any better than my tight end in the 15th round. It's going to be real with you. That man's going to be too busy trying to block AR from getting killed by the whole AFC East because they have no offensive
Oh,
line. Just saying.
oh.
Nice kicker in the
It's all right.
15th round, too. That's value right there, dude.
All right. Sounds good.
The big leg from the East.
Last but certainly not least, president of Bills Mafia, Asin TDs. The back half of round 1. She had the opportunity to make us all happy and take Josh Allen at the 112, but
We
she
could have
wanted
gotten
to.
one pick right. We could have had one.
She threw us the middle finger emoji and decided to take him at the 201. So she got her guy, Tony Pollard, off the board at the 112. Man, it's been up and down. He's going to be the guy this year, and everyone talks about his frame and whether or not he's going to be able to handle the workload with Zeke being gone. I mean, Dallas has weapons all over the place, so they don't need him to get 25 to 30 touches a game. Like he can be effective as hell at 15 to 20 touches and get him out in space. I mean, he can catch passes and stuff. So, a couple picks that kind of had me scratching my head a little bit, man. I wasn't a fan of Debo Samuel in the 3rd round. I've seen a lot of people kind of, poo-pooing on Debo a little bit. I know he had that year a couple of years ago where he was the gadget guy. He was catching the passes and he was lining up in the backfield, and then they went out and got Christian McCaffrey, and it seemed like the beef of that creative stuff that Debo was getting to do. It's all CMC now, or at
Yep.
least the majority of it. In San Francisco, it's so tough to figure out like who's getting the ball, man. And Brandon Ayuk has kind of come on last year, and Brandon Ayuk was creeping up draft boards this season. So, if there was a section of this draft I could really tip my cap to, um, I I liked her round 6 through 8. That stretch of George Pickens, Zay Flowers, and Evan Ingram, I was definitely golf clapping on that part of the draft. Really love that area. So for me, overall, I'm gonna go with a B for Bills Mafia president Acidides.
Okay. So I 100% agree with the 6 through 8 statement. George Pickens was on my list. Um, I think he's going to be really good this season. And then the other Zay Flowers, like we talked about, that kid, he's going to do big things, I think. As long as everybody stays healthy, right? Um, running backs. Running backs are going to be a pain point again for the for the leader of the Bills Mafia. You got two running backs on the same team. And you got 2 starters.
I got you.
It's gonna be tough. Her receiving crew though is I think gonna be really good. She's got 2 solid tight ends and she's got Josh Allen. So I mean, again, you got one of the top 3 quarterbacks in fantasy. It's gonna anchor and carry your team.
Yep. No, when you got QB1 probably averaging between 25 and 30 points a game, man, it's
Yeah,
it keeps you in a lot of contests for sure.
I'll give her a B as well.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of B's.
Good deal.
Lots of B's by Mr. B.
There you go. We love to see it, man.
Yeah.
I had a blast on Monday night.
Yeah, dude, it was a good time. Good time.
Yep. Good deal.
It was nice getting the few people on that we did, and I again look forward to doing this season. Our first episode in season is going to be next week. Hoping for a special guest. Other than that, man, I think we can call this one a wrap. Next Thursday.
Yep, I totally agree, sir. For everyone tuning in, man, please like the show, share the show. If you guys feel so inclined, we'd love to, see a couple comments down there on who you felt won the draft on Monday night. So yeah, like I said, man, if you can get in there and leave us a comment and tell me how terrible I did and how awesome Red did, that would be great.
I mean,
I'm not wrong, right?
I mean, you're not. How many are you done with all your drafts?
One more to go, man. I got the live auction for the H-Town League on Saturday. So it's, a live draft is always a different animal. And to me, auction style is, it's the purest form of drafting. So maybe one of these years we'll be able to do a live draft again, and maybe we'll run it auction style.
Absolutely.
So,
all right. Well, with that being said, like the commish said, or G, we got to get used to that. Please, if you enjoyed this video, like it, hit the subscribe button, turn the bell on so you have notifications when our next one comes on. It is every Thursday, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when these launch. Come take a ride with us through the season as we hopefully have lots of guests from our league on here, and we shoot the shit and banter for a little while. As always, I appreciate you guys, and until next week.
see you.
See ya.